Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today, our topic for Dhamma sharing is from slavery to freedom. What is the meaning of slavery? Maybe these things is still in this era. We don't see it around us, but just not too long ago, just 100, 200 years ago, it was still common in Africa. In fact, it was just a little bit more than 100 years ago, 200. You even have a serious slavery in Europe, in America, in so many places. People fought against slavery because nobody liked to be enslaved. People want freedom. So, we humans, civilization have gone a long way to overcome the physical slavery. But in terms of slavery of the mind, still very little progress has been made. During the Buddha's time, there was slavery also. There was a social norm. But Buddha didn't work for that social reform because it was not the fundamental things. Because if you look at from the cause and effect, when a person is physically enslaved, there were also causes in the past. Not that social reform is not important, but more important is to solve the problem at the root, the causes. What are the causes for slavery? This is even more important. When we enslave others, you see people catch the birds and cage them, make them sing. That's a form of cause for slavery, physical slavery. So people want freedom. So nowadays we have done a lot of live releasing birds. I heard our Dhamma workers are planning for live release, birds release in Katina Day. They plan to do it. So this is good when we give freedom to beings, so to generate the causes, the karma for freedom. There is one way which is very worthy and useful and precious. But even more important than that is our mental freedom. Physical slavery, sometimes you cannot help. If you are born into a certain environment and certain karma ripen, not easy to do that. But mental slavery is possible. All the time also, but we have to get free from that. And even when our bodily is handicapped, it's a form of slavery also. Even though no one enslave you, but you're incapacitated. You cannot move. You lie on the wheelchair. So it's similar to slavery also, just that it is not imposed upon us, but by our own physical incapability. We cannot move. We become handicapped. So it's a kind of enslavement, but you don't feel oppressed because that is what happened on ourselves. But mental slavery is a kind of slavery that we can overcome. And it is worthy to overcome them because it's important. Try to look at it. What are the factors, the elements that enslave our mind, incapacitate our mind, make us fail to bring out the best in us, fail to perform, fail to derive our rightful happiness that we are capable of achieving. One such slavery element is emotions. Can we recall a time when we were caught in a fist in the emotions, when we feel so worked up? Suddenly, sometimes people can even go crazy and make wrong decisions and hurt people that they love. Because of that, emotions is one factor, very common. If you can see it from the point of it's kind of slavery, you are capable of wisdom. You are capable to do, to perform well. You are capable of finding the best answer. You are capable of finding a way out. But because of emotions, our wisdom failed to function. Our wisdom failed to operate. How sad it is. How bad it is. So I look at it look at emotion as a slavery. From long ago, even before I came to know Buddhism, I felt a kind of weakness caused by our own emotions. I felt a kind of weakness. So this is one thing. Then another thing closely related to emotions is defilements like anger, greed, delusion, defilements, pride. Yeah, sometimes because of pride, just look at greed, anger, everyone may understand. But people don't see how pride enslaves us. See, sometimes because of pride, we want to prove something. I want to prove to you this, I want to prove to you that. I had that in the past. In those younger days, I thought I want to perform well. I want to achieve glory. So that after that, I will become a monk. Now, I had the idea to become a monk at the age of around 16. Somehow I just thought, how nice it is. You can become a monk, fight for freedom, wisdom, liberations, find an answer to life. But somehow, I had that pride. I want to perform well, earn a lot of money, get name and fame, reputation. Then after that, okay, after 50, sometimes in the mid-50, right about now, then I thought, then I will go to become a monk. Then, it's a kind of pride. One day I realized, for this pride, I could have fooled myself. I know Dhamma is precious. I know it is not easy to get human life. And then it is not easy to meet the Buddha's teaching. And, in the rounds of birth and death in samsara, meeting the Buddha's teaching is so precious. And I indulge in the thought of looking for worldly glory before I strive. Before I strive for my own ideal in life, my wish in life. Then I thought, how stupid I could be. Then I let go. I let go this pride. I decided I shouldn't spend decades, spend my youthful years chasing after things which I don't really need. Because I'm a kind of person who can be happy very easily. Simple food, simple clothing, lodging, Already I feel happy. I don't know. This is a bit inborn, but caused by past karma also. Because being the nature of ascetic, nature of a renunciate is so deeply rooted in me, so I could be happy very easily. And yet, because of that pride, in order to prove my capabilities, I could have spent 30 years running about, working hard, just for your eyes only, to prove case. Not for myself, just to prove to other people, prove myself in other people's eyes. Why should I do that? What is so important how people look at us? We should do something which is genuinely good for myself. I thought that way. If I don't think this is good, okay, fair. But if I really believe this is best for me, and because of pride, I couldn't do what I knew to be best, there was a kind of slavery, enslavement. So I decided to get rid of it. I decided not to succumb to such a weakness. So, defilements is a kind of horrible slavery. All kinds of defilements, including jealousy. You see, jealousy is also another kind of defilement. You see, anger sometimes because of whatever reason. But jealousy also, people don't see that jealousy is wrong. You see, when you feel jealous, do you feel good? No. But because of other people, we feel bad. How strange it is. We should be happy or unhappy is whatever due to your internal, okay, fair, at least you know it is due to something within. But just because of other people succeed, other people becomes more respectable or achieve higher or whatever, or maybe more beautiful, more handsome or whatever, or more successful. You feel hurt. You cannot be happy because of something happening outside. Isn't it so unworthy? So look at it this way. So we need to try to understand that this is a kind of bondage, a kind of enslavement that catches, incapacitates us. And nivarana also. Defilement, when we talk about defilement, we also talk about nivarana. Nivarana are our sensual lust, our anger, our sloth and torpor. You cannot wake up. You feel the mind is weak, the mental state also weak. Okay, and restlessness and remorse and doubt, skeptical doubt. Skeptical doubt is something that you cannot move on to try to experiment. Okay, so these also incapacitate us. So we should have a wish to do away with all these things. Then there are these things called external entanglement. You say, oh, I'm caught by this, I'm caught by that. Because of external things. Some people are caught by a relationship. Okay? Caught by what? What else? Sometimes responsibility. If you are a CEO of a company, then you're caught by the responsibility. Then even though sometimes you want to do something on your own, but you don't have the free time. You have the money, but you don't have the free time. You want to enjoy something, you may be caught by all these things. Yeah. But if you really enjoy it, it's fine. If you really feel okay, you enjoy your work, fine. But sometimes you want to do something for your own wish, you cannot. When you don't have the freedom to exercise your wish at that time due to something, usually we say this is a kind of enslavement, some kind of hindrance, some kind of bondage. And money is also another one. Money. If you need money, you need to use it as a tool to provide certain facilities, conveniences for your beloved one. Okay, that's one thing. But sometimes people are enslaved so much that even though they have more than enough to spend for hundreds of years, but still For some reason, the habitual tendency, you have to keep running after it. Then this is not, no. Think of it. You just do it for the sake of doing it, acquiring it for the sake of acquiring it. Yeah, this is a kind of slavery. Then another kind of slavery is very serious. Very, very serious. Ideologies. Sometimes people die. They kill, they die, they commit all sorts of evil for the sake of ideology, or kind of beliefs, some kind of mind ideas. They commit all the harm, all the evil, all the torture to others for the sake of ideologies. This is very serious slavery, mental slavery. So, what is the good things? The opposite. Be free from it. Free from it. Free from this bondage of all these things. Free from the results of them, pain, whatever. So that we have the freedom to think freely, to speak, and to act. Sometimes people cannot speak genuine to their heart. They cannot speak. Because why? Because why? Because of certain, like for example, politically correct. Politicians, they tell all the lies because they need to speak what is politically correct, not genuine to their heart. Then they don't have the freedom. They have the freedom to act. Sometimes in certain political field, they have this party week. You have to vote according to the party line. Are you genuine? They have the freedom? No. People say they all the freedom by doing nonsense, by doing crazy things, they think they have the freedom. No. People are really not that free. Not that free. Not free to their conscience. Not true to their conscience. This is also a kind of slavery and bondage. Then, so we should look for such freedom, and then this freedom will be good. Freedom for self-help. You can help yourself. Sometimes people cannot help themselves. We are born into the Wufu realms. Look at the pets. Can they really help themselves? No, not really. They are fully at the mercy of their masters. So it's just another kind of slavery. So you are born into the hell, let's say. There's no chance to do good. So difficult to rise up from the fate. Whole life in the hell, from beginning, the first moment to the last moment is suffering. Not a single moment of 喘气怎么讲? You can sigh. You don't even have a chance to do that. So, freedom for self-help is so important to change our fate, to cultivate new causes. That is precious. So now how to conquer this slavery? How to rise from it? How to avoid this kind of bondage, inhibitions, limitation, hindrance, obstacles, enslavement? How? In the Buddha's teaching, we have many ways. First is the understanding or knowledge. This is the most important thing. First, you must know, you must see as they really are. If you don't see, they are hindering your capacities, hindering your potential, limiting what you are capable to achieve, hindering your happiness and freedom. If you cannot see this, no way out. So the first step is to understand this nature of defilements, emotions, ideologies, money, all this, see the attachment to it. See the entanglement it is, the bondage bound by them. See this as a bondage. See this as a cause, a pain and cause of further pain. See them as something that inhibit you, bind you, pressure you. If you can see them, that is the first step. Then the second step, understand there's a way out. Understand that you can achieve, you can rise up from that, rise above this. You need to know there's a way out. You need to know you can unfold a lot of potentials if you can free yourself from that. Yeah. This kind of understanding is the first step and very powerful step. I remember one time I asked one of my teacher, I said, Bande, how to overcome pride? Then he looked at me, he said, try to reflect upon the disadvantages of pride and reflect upon the advantages of overcoming pride. Then you can overcome pride. So I work hard on that. I reflect. Every now and then, thinking about it, pondering over it, contemplating. Then slowly, whenever pride arose in my mind, I just see it as it is. Oh, it's coming. He's trying to buy me again. Try to make me make stupid decision, something which is not beneficial for myself. I look at it this way. Yeah. So every time it arises, I know, this is coming to hinder me, buy me, like that. So after some times, I can. I don't say I can overcome it all the time, to the point it will never appear again. But at least in terms of major decision or turning point in my life, I never allow this pride to hold sway over my mind. I never allow that. I just say, no, I know that you are there. You're like a devil trying to capture me. No, I'm not going to do that to listen to your instruction. Oh, no. You push me around, I'm not going to be pushed around. I just look at you, I know that you are there. Because of that kind of awareness, then slowly this pride become weakened and weakened and weakened. Okay? So first step is very important, the knowledge that this is no good. That it is a cause of pain and suffering. It is enslavement. So this understanding is first step. And then the second, know that there's a way out. And if you can get out of it, it's good and very beneficial. Okay. Then you can reflect. Using a lot of reflective wisdom. 1 and 2. These are all related. Reflect. For example, anger. You reflect. Why should I suffer pain and burning heart, bad feelings, for the sake of other people's behavior, other people's mistakes? Is right or not? It's just like people shoot at you when let's say people destroy your property. Okay? It's just like, you already get the arrow shooting at you. Then you get angry. You are like pushing the arrow for deeper, suffer the double pain, second level of pain. Why should I do that? If I already suffer some loss, why should I suffer the second loss, third loss? Sometimes people say, I've done so much good for others. But that person doesn't repay me in kind, but try to what? Ingrate, act like not grateful, ungrateful. I treat you kindly and you treat me badly. In Chinese, we say 恩将仇报. So because of that, some people, they told me, no, I don't want to help people anymore. So you suffer the deeper loss. When you are repaid with unkind behavior, already you suffer one loss. That is only vipaka. But you act in a way to destroy your good nature, allow other people's unwholesome behavior to destroy your good qualities. In fact, when we have a kind heart, we are helpful to others, that is a great asset in our character. And then we destroy them. We allow other people to destroy it. how unwise it is. So when you reflect like that, then very easy, you just let go. Very easy. Because you see the disadvantage of it, you see the unworthiness of it, you let go. These are reflective wisdom. Greed also, no? But greed is a bit more difficult because sometimes greed comes with happiness and happy feeling. More difficult. But still you can reflect on greed. Because of greed, you hold on to it. I remember some people told a story about the monkey somewhere in Indonesia. Pernah jumpa Indonesian monkey macam tu? The monkey, the monkey hunter, they use a coconut, the shell, then they make a hole, they put some sweets inside. So those monkey, Indonesian monkey, they put their hands inside, they catch the sweets, they cannot pull out. Oh, they cannot pull out. Then the hunter slowly come and catch a monkey. Who captured the monkey? The monkey captured himself. Because if your hands can go in, your hands can come out. But because of greed, hold on to the sweets and the nice food, they cannot pull out. So look at it this way. When we suffer greed, when we have greed, we are like that. We bind ourselves, enslave ourselves. Some people say, I suffer so much pain. Because why? There's one song, I don't know what, those days, one English song. This is the end of the world, for you don't love me anymore. You remember the song? The end of the world. Oh, for you don't love me anymore. So the world ends. That's the end of the world. Why must you suffer for people that don't love you? For me, I look at it this way. If you don't love me, why should I suffer for you? If I suffer for someone who loves me, at least something, because the person loves me, I have to work very hard, at least something, People don't love you, you want to suffer. Isn't it very strange? Because of the greed holding on. For me, I think it's not worthy. If people don't love me, don't leave me. Why should I suffer for you? If I work hard, I suffer like mad, work like a buffalo, for the sake of people I love. Okay, fair, People don't love you, you want to suffer for people who don't love you. Why? Isn't it very irony, So look at it this way. So you reflect. You apply wise reflection. Then you notice that you can let go. You can let go. This helped me to rise from one. I always tell a story. I like to share with people because many people suffer this kind of pain. What pain? Loss of love. Loss of love. So the first time I lost, I was dumped by a girl. So I suffered 8 hours, no sleeping. Then I said, well, sooner or later I have to let go. Why should I suffer 8 hours, man? So I told myself, if it comes again, I don't even want to suffer a second. True enough, it came again, It came again, then I said, well, I just let go. I put down the phone, finish the whole story. I always want to encourage people with this, my self-experience, because it is possible. It is possible. Achievable, not difficult. At that time, I didn't practice what Vipassana high level, no. Simply because I realized that, if it is out, it's over, it's over. If it is not possible, not possible. Don't waste your time, cry over spilled milk, something that you cannot recover. Put aside, move on. Life must move on. So that reflective, when we reflect on life, actually we can learn so much from it. But, very often we find that people suffer for the same reasons again and again. I learned one thing very precious from my mother. My mother was very wise. She said something. I call it a maxim. We can make mistakes. All of us have our stupidity. We can make mistakes. But if you make the same mistake twice, you must be a fool. If you make the same mistake twice, we must be a fool. So when we suffer once, enough. When it comes again, we should be strong and don't suffer again. Learn to recognize what causes you suffering. I usually like to tell a story of sometimes people, they are afraid of ghosts, okay? Then the first time the ghost frighten you, let's say there's a ghost frighten you, then you get shocked. Then the second time frighten you again, then you shock even further. Then the third time your heart break. Is it the right way to live? No. I say, if the ghost come to you, real ghost, devil come to you. First time you get check it. Then you say, I see, and I see you. Try to look at the face. Who is this ghost? How it looks like? Then next time, sharper and sharper. They say, hello, I know you already. Come on, friend, don't try. I know you wouldn't frighten me. We should learn, rise from experience. The more we experience, the less hurt we should be. How can we get hurt more and more by what happened again and again? Sometimes you find people telling very strange reason why they suffer. You see, because it come again and again, I suffer. For me, exactly, I look at it differently. Because it comes again and again, I feel so experienced with it, I don't suffer anymore. That's my approach to life. If the cause of suffering come to me again and again, the more every time I want to recognize it. With my eyes wide open, fully aware of this devil, how it looks like, how it is like. In fact, this is how the scientists solve problems also. When they suffer any failure from the experiment, what do? They analyze their failure. They try to know why they fail exactly. Then they rise from their failure. Right or not? Yeah. All the scientists do the same. Just apply the same approach to our human life. Then we will learn from each and every experience. Reflective wisdom. Then the third, freedom from bondage, is actually concentration. So you see, you may have 1,000 very messy thoughts occupying your mind, but if you focus well on your breath, for one moment you focus on your breath, you're free for that moment, right? You're free from that moment. From all this bondage, all these messy thoughts, right or wrong, wholesome or unwholesome, let go. Then you're free for one moment. And moment to moment, if you can allow yourself freedom, moment to moment, up to 1 hour, you get your concentration for sure. Very, very sure. So concentration is a way we free our mind from bondage. Ask ourselves, I have been bound by these wandering thoughts for decades, for so long. What benefit have I gained from these thoughts? Some only. Look at our human thought thinking. Most of our thinking are not fruitful, not productive. Only some are productive. For many people, even 90% of their thoughts are not productive. But for more efficient people, they have, maybe if you have productive thoughts for 70%, you must be very successful people. Very successful people. If you can occupy your mind with wholesome thoughts, useful thoughts, for up to 70% of your life thoughts, life thinking, you must be a very successful person. Happy person. Just 70% is so fruitful. What more to say if you can have 95% of your thoughts, or even 100%, but 100% usually the higher RAS. But if you can have 90%, how wonderful a life can you have? So look at it this way. So cherish concentration. Know that this concentration is actually liberating us moment to moment, second by second, minutes by minutes, hour by hour. So cultivate concentration. Then another Dharma practice that is very helpful to free ourselves from bondage is now. There's one Western lay meditation teacher, He in fact actually wrote a book on this topic, The Power of Now. Yeah, when we look at it, actually, he picked it from the Buddha's teaching, mindfulness, and then expound vastly on that. That actually simple. Now, live in the present moment. Because every moment is a fresh moment. You can have very terrible things happening around you, against you. But if you just live fully in this present moment, you can notice mindfully, fully in this moment. This moment you are free. This mindfulness and the focused mind, it works together hand in hand. And then you are free. At one time in Sri Lanka, Nauyana, after the Pintachara coming back, I was walking behind Bhante Arananda. Then he was trying to guide me purposely. He would slow down his pace. But like all the senior monks go first, he walked a bit slow. Then I out of respect for senior, I also walk slowly. He knew I was at that time very young, to year 2000. Mind very active, walk fast, eat fast, meditate quickly, want to go to meditate quickly, rushing. Then he slowed down his pace, slow, gracefully walking. I said, Maṅgala, how's your meditation? Then I say, Bhante, I have so much wandering thoughts. My habits of thinking is so deep. So difficult to free from these habits of wandering and thinking. Then he just said something I can never forget. If you are mindful, habits cannot come in. If you are mindful, habits cannot come in. Which means if you are mindful fully in the present moment, you will not be pushed around by your habits. You cannot be pushed around by your habits. So that words, that advice, stick me from so long until now. I found it so precious. Just one simple word. If you are mindful, habits cannot come in. Bhante Arana is a great teacher. Sometimes rarely I find some people who can take so much pressure. When he preached, he want to establish the monastery. Now Nauyana has become the biggest forest monastery in Sri Lanka. 5,000 acres. Given by the government. Oh, there are so many portions of it. You can have a group practice if you like. You can have self-practice if you like. If you don't want to take food from the monastery, you want to go to the village for food and live alone your life, you can. It's such a big monastery. So, it's not easy to build this condition for other people to meditate. But he has to endure a lot of difficulties. But all the time when you meet Bhante Arananda, he's always peaceful, calm, so nice, because of that, mindful. People do all the sort of nonsense, couldn't affect him. Same like most of the teachers are like, great teachers are like that. But Bhante Arananda leave it up to a very high level. He always like that, mindful. So, not that we don't have habits. Everyone have habits. But do we want to be enslaved by habits? No. If you don't want to be enslaved by habits, follow Bhante Arananda's instruction. Be mindful. Live in the present moment, fully. Presence of mind. Then the next liberating force is actually realities themselves. If you see realities, the realities are liberating. Just that we don't see the realities deep enough, thoroughly enough, as they really are. If you can see realities as they really are, deep enough, thoroughly enough, then it is liberating. That is why the Buddha wants us to practice vipassana. Develop concentration so that you have the potential, the capability, with the light of wisdom, you can penetrate ultimate realities. like consciousness, mental states, and all the subatomic materiality. Why are these so important? When you know that these realities is really liberating and purifying, can free us from our causes of suffering, our defilements, our causes of suffering, then you can see how you can even be free from the bondage of ideologies. What are ideologies? Ideologies are ideas that thought out by some thinker, philosophers, who formulate certain ideas and tell us this is good. So people hold on to them. Because of holding on to them in order to achieve some lofty ideals, you strive hard, you live exactly. But how sure are you? You know that this is really beneficial for you all the way. Not necessary. Sometimes may be beneficial for us somehow a bit, but it has its limitation, disadvantages. For example, the ideologies of capitalism, the ideologies of communism, the ideologies of individualism, all sorts of ideas, political ideas, social ideas. But do you notice that anyone who hold on so fastly to ideologies, they always end up in some kind of problem. Not that ideologies are not useful. They are useful to some extent. But so far you cannot find a single ideology which is absolutely perfect and reliable. And sometimes people, if they go extreme, they can cause a lot of problems. People jump from ideologies to ideologies. How to free from that? Realities. Because the realities are always there. The realities are not thought out. Because when you think out, how sure you are that your thinking is perfect and reliable. But realities are different. Realities are always there. So the Buddha only discovered these realities and teaches the way how to discover realities ourselves. Realities are always true. So when you see realities, it's just like we see the light, we see this is a danger, I don't walk into a danger, then how can you be endangered? How can you suffer bad result? Because when you see realities, you will not call. You know how to chart your journey away from causes of suffering. See realities. So the Buddha's, in his first sutta, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, already disclosed his liberating technique or the tool he used to achieve liberation, to become a Buddhahood, achieve Buddhahood, which he taught to us, hoping that we can also achieve what he achieved by sharing with us his technique. In the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the discourse of turning the Dhamma wheel, the Buddha said, Yatha bhutang jnana dasanam. Seeing things as they really are with wisdom. Yatha bhutang means as they really are. You don't fake something. You don't fancy something. You don't imagine something. Just as they really are. If they are like that, they are like that. You don't fancy. You don't try to formulate any ideas about it. Just take them as they really are. Yatha bhutang. Jnana means wisdom. It's a kind of capability of the mind that can penetrate nature, can see through the superficial truth to the ultimate truth. Jnana is a kind of capability which should be supported by virtues and concentration. Jnana. Dasana. Dasana means seeing. It is an actual operation. You use this tool and operate and see the reality. What reality? The reality of Four Noble Truths. What is suffering? Do we really understand suffering? In Buddhism, we talk a lot of suffering, not that we want to suffer. We talk about suffering because we have a solution, we have a way out. The Buddha wouldn't spend time talking about suffering if he had no solution. Right or not? We don't want to tell people their problem if you have no way for you. If it cannot solve a problem for you, I usually don't want to tell a problem, just if I have no solution for you. We want to tell people, alert them about the problem, because there's a way out. Like that only. So sometimes we point out a student's mistake, because we know there's a way to guide you, overcome it, so that you can be free from it, and then you can achieve happiness and peace. Like that only. So the Buddha talked about suffering because there's a way out. Then they talk about not only suffering, you need to understand causes of suffering. This is a very important methodology. Cause and effect of problems. See the problem and the cause of problem. Suffering as a cause of suffering. Then the second set of cause and effect. The solution, the answers, the way out, the end result, the overcoming of suffering, the cessation of suffering, the ideal worth achieving, the third noble truth. Okay, so it's a goal. So once you know your goal, no point talking about goal if it's just a dream. We need to have a way to achieve it, which is the cause. You do this, you will achieve this. So two sets of cause and effect. The Buddha's methodology. Four Noble Truths is a Buddha's methodology towards the problem is the round of birth and death, samsara problem. So we need to see thoroughly. In the Dhammacakka, the first sutta, you can see from our chanting book, the first is to see thoroughly what is the nature of suffering. To the subatomic particle level, to the mind level, to the mental states level. The arising and passing away, that you cannot call a stop to it. See this. See the causes. And when you see this, the science works in this way. Because there's nothing for you to grasp, to hold on. Ultimately, there's nothing to hold on. Nothing that's really substantially reliable. Naturally, we let go. In one way, it seems like we say we let go. Actually, when you come to that level, actually nothing to grasp. No way to grasp. When there's no way to grasp, the mind is free, open to next possibilities, which is not arising and not passing away. What is this? Nibbana, the happiness. So, the path leading to Nibbana, to happiness, is virtues, concentration, and wisdom. Virtues remove the gross, very, very gross kind of evil. Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, taking intoxicants, and a lot of bad things. Virtues. And also fulfilling the deserving qualities. When you're virtuous, you have the deserving qualities for good things. And then on this foundation of virtues, you can cultivate the capability through the concentration practice. Then you discover actually the mind's potential is great. Why concentration can bring out the powerful mind potential? If you know the science of mind, a thought process. If you study a thought process, if you have time now, in future, study Abhidhamma, thought process. In a thought process, usually, let's say eye door thought process, ear door thought process, nose door thought process, tongue door thought process, body door thought process, mind door thought process. Six big category thought process. Ordinarily, the maximum karma creating consciousness in the flow only 7. We call jhana. Jhana is we have many types of consciousness. There's one type of consciousness that can generate karma, generate energy or called potency that can produce result in the future. This kind of mind that can generate karma, we call jhana. So, in ordinary thought process, you only have 7 jhana in the flow. Then it breaks. Then you have other kind of consciousness. Then another time it comes, The 7. So 7 in the flow is not powerful. When you practice concentration such as jhana, you can have millions and millions and billions of consciousness all in a flow, unbroken flow. Do you know what it means? It means when you can repeat one type of consciousness, karma created consciousness, in millions and billions in the flow, or trillions in the flow, uncountable. What does it mean? The consciousness, same type of consciousness, when it repeats itself, it gathers power. It gathers power. Asevana pachayo, we call repetitive condition. Because of that, the mind becomes powerful. Compared to 7, now you have trillions and trillions of it. Compared to 7 in the flow. How significant it is. The power of concentration. So, because of that, it can free you from the superficial truth. You can have the ability to penetrate and can see realities. When you can see realities, these realities naturally remove our illusion and delusion, our fanciful thoughts about the world, which is not true. Just like when the light appears, darkness disappears. When the sun rises, the night is gone. Just in the same way, when we see realities, all uncertainties about life, uncertainties, all the doubt, all the ignorance, all the delusion, all the illusion cannot stay together with realities. Because when the realities are there, all the illusion, all the fanciful thinking gone. Why we need to remove it? Because it is exactly based on, founded upon the illusion, the wrong perception about life, about ourselves, that we commit a lot of causes of suffering that give us suffering. Because of not understanding realities, we go and do the wrong things. Just like, I can give a simile. Simile is not always perfect, but some simile is helpful for the wise people to understand. The Buddha always say that. So the Buddha also like to use simile. For example, under the table, you see something long, Suppose it is a snake, and you think it is a rope. You can step on it or catch it. What happened? You get bitten. Because you don't see the snake as a snake. If you see it as a snake, you can know it is a dangerous. But because not knowing that it is a snake, you step on it, you catch it with your hands, then you get bitten. This is because of not seeing snake as snake. Another way, the opposite way also true. If it is a rope and you think it is a snake and you get shocked for nothing, you get frightened for nothing, then that's how suffering comes, because of not seeing nature. But this is only superficial, small thing. But not seeing the nature of our life is a big thing, very serious. So seeing reality is the most useful way, a key method towards liberation. Then the next one is, liberation. Because even you see realities, if you don't see thoroughly enough, not to the point of irreversible level, now you see realities, you are wise. But tomorrow, sometimes your concentration fall down. You may forget, but not zero. Even if you forget, sometimes at the back of memory, you have that we call parami, or wisdom potential you have in you. So sometimes maybe when you meet the future Buddha, that potential can be raised up. It can be how do you call that? Brought out by the Buddha. Brought up by the Buddha. But if you don't want to wait, don't want to take the risk to wait until the Buddha, you want to achieve liberation in this life, you can. Just practice further until you achieve the irreversible achievement. What is this? 4 levels of achievement are irreversible in the Buddha's teaching. First, Sotappati Magga, the first stage of sainthood. Once you achieve first stage of sainthood, you are free from wrong view, free from skeptical doubts, free from the wrong understanding about what actually leads to liberation, about the kind of rituals, forms. People like to do a lot of rituals, pray, do this, and thinking that this is to achieve liberation. They really believe it. But if a person for Sotapan, because of knowing fully the science of liberation, because they already achieved the result, so once they achieve the result, they know what are the real factors which are conducive for the result. So they no longer have any doubt about what is helpful for the practice, what is not, what is a plus, what is a minus, perfectly so, without relying on belief, just know directly. So after that, these kind of defilements for the Sotapan, the first stage of sainthood, they are removed without remainder. It cannot come again. You see, when you get first jhana, now you get first jhana, if you talk too much, then your concentration fall down. Now, if you get engaged with a lot of work, hard work, your concentration may fall down. But of course, once you fall down, because you have experienced before, easier to recover, but still can fall down. So when you get very sick, sometimes not easy to maintain good concentration when your body is very weak. But when you recover, you may recover, okay? But so these are the achievements which can be reversed. Very worthy, very helpful, give you a very good store of merits, but still reversible. Only Maṅgala. Maṅgala is the path achievement. It's a kind of it's one consciousness only. But that consciousness we call path consciousness, which is the consciousness that break through and separate these kind of three types of defilements completely without remainder and cannot come back. You cannot fall into the wrong view anymore. Cannot have doubt anymore about life, about cycle of life, cause and effect, Four Noble Truths. You cannot have doubt about it anymore. And you cannot have any attachment to these kind of rituals or practice. You can do a bit for sometimes ceremonial things, but you know this, what are substantial, what are not substantial, without doubt. Then the second stage of sainthood, Sakadagami. First stage of sainthood can no longer be reborn into the woeful realms. Ghosts, asuras is the kind of demons, they've transcended demons, angry one. And then animals, and then hell. These four kind of rebirth cannot happen to a Sotapan forever. And within 7 lifetimes, 7 existences, you can be sure be liberated, because the mind, the evolution of the mind can only move forward and cannot be turned back anymore. Can never be turned back anymore. All the way forward. So the longest possible is 7 lifetimes. But they can speed up 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes. But within maximum 7 existence, you'll be liberated. Okay? So this is a irreversible achievement. Then the second level is Sakadagami. Even stronger. Then the third level, Anagami. Anagami distinctly remove all greed and all anger. Greed and anger. So these are, once you remove this, the mind becomes very peaceful. Very peaceful, very pure. But still, Arahants, once they achieve Arahant, all defilements, greed, pride, and all kind of sloth and torpor, all kind of weakness removed completely, delusion removed completely, without remainder, cannot arise again. So that will be his last existence. But after that, Parinibbana. But people don't understand. They say, oh, Parinibbana is permanent death. No, not like that. Huh? It's just not explainable. So but Venerable Sariputta say there is the happiness, highest happiness. In fact, the Buddha, so often in the Buddha's teaching, Nibbana means happiness. But people don't understand. One time there's one person came to ask Venerable Sariputta, the chief disciple of the Buddha, who is foremost in wisdom. What is happiness? This one, Nibbana, no feeling. No full feeling. How to be happy? Then Venerable Sariputta said, no feeling is happiest. This is, try to experience yourself. We need to strive hard to come to such a level. But even though you may not think that, wow, what is this, man? But you can see that person, when you can put aside if you are not sure about your having faith in Nibbana, never mind. As long as you keep moving towards higher happiness, purer happiness, higher happiness, eventually the happiness that without defilements, without impurities, by the time you reach that, you reach Nibbana. Okay? So take Nibbana as a term we use for highest happiness. Think of it this way. That's it. So with understanding and knowledge, with reflective wisdom, with concentration, with mindfulness, living in the present moment, they're free from the bondage of past, future, or whatever, and seeing realities and liberation, we can free ourselves from the slavery of emotions, defilements, external entanglements, money, ideology, or whatever that capture our heart. We can be free from that. How nice it is. In fact, this freedom need not be experienced only when you reach the summit, the highest achievement. No. If you just learn to live in the present moment, just say, well, this is no more relevant, past suffering is no more relevant, I cannot change it. The milk already got spilled, I cannot do anything on it. It's no more relevant. Even just this simple step of wisdom, if we do it, we apply in our life with simple reflection, we can be free from a lot of bondage, a lot of dissatisfaction, a lot of frustration, a lot of grumbling, grudge. Just thinking that, it's not beneficial, not helpful for me. It doesn't add good points to my life. It is a minus. It is a negativity. Then you even just this alone can free your mind from so much unhappiness. What more to say if you realize the reflective wisdom, concentration, mindfulness, further living in the present moment, seeing realities and liberation? The freedom will be much, much more and more substantial, more helpful, more reliable. Okay? So, do you want this freedom? I'm sure you want, everyone, because we want happiness. It is a inborn nature of all living beings to long for happiness and not suffering. You don't find a single being wanting suffering. No. Even for sadists, just because of distortion only, they start to enjoy torturing themselves. But not really, they don't want happiness. Because of karma only, people can enjoy torturing themselves. But still, they want happiness. Even for people who commit suicide, they want happiness. Because they don't want this suffering, but they have no way out. They're thinking that death is the end of everything, after pain. So they commit suicide. If they know the next moment after suicide is horrible, usually horrible, nobody will commit suicide. Because they want happiness also. So, if you want happiness, if you want freedom, just work on the right courses. Practice Dhamma. Practice knowledge, understanding. Cultivate this. Reflect on Dhamma a lot. Applying reflective wisdom, Paccavekkhana. Then concentration, Samadhi. Then mindfulness, Sati. Live in the present moment. And try to practice to the level we can see the realities of life. Suffering, cause us suffering. The cessation of suffering. And the path leading to the cessation of suffering. And eventually attain final liberation. Okay? Any questions? How to stop thinking? Okay, first, apply understanding. See that this thinking is not helpful for you. You see, sometimes we have a lot of good thinking, right? Like good thinking, you can have bad thinking, then you can reflect, this is bad, this is unwholesome karma. Okay, very easy. If you think it is a unwholesome karma, you are not motivated to think. But you may think, but I will solve that later. First is the understanding. Okay, unwholesome thinking is not helpful for me. Wholesome thinking, helpful for me. But what the Bodhisattva reflect? When he meditate, he reflect. This thinking, if I think day and night, I'm not wrong. Because of wholesome. Wholesome thinking are good karma. But if I keep thinking like that, my meditation will not come to its fruits. Will not produce meditation result. So it is the wrong timing. Thinking is good, but now I'm meditating. It is not helpful for me. So he let go. Disinclined from it. Distance from it. So this is the first step. Know that this is not helpful. Even wholesome thinking is not helpful for during meditation at time. It is helpful for other time, but not during meditation. And then, sometimes you see the good if you can overcome thinking. Sometimes in the past I did this. At the end of the Vasa, after 3 months, I say, well, you see, because I indulge in a kind of philosophical thinking. Those days I thought about I Ching, about the Tao Te Ching, the kind of Chinese philosophy. And I say, well, yeah, I enjoy in this kind of thinking wisdom and cultivating thinking wisdom. But if I were to take a different path, if I were to give up this wholesome thinking, reflective thinking on this kind of philosophical thing, in the past 3 months, I would have achieved concentration. I would have progressed in my samatha and vipassana, which can give me bhavana maya panya, higher wisdom called insight, without thinking, direct penetrating of ultimate realities. So when I reflect, I say, well, I made a fool of myself in the past Vasa because of enjoying wholesome thinking. So that kind of reflection make me generate kind of a disenchantment or letting go of good and bad thinking. So, but still not enough. Not enough. Because still there are these things called habits, right? You know it's no good, but you cannot control. Then mindfulness comes in.
With the writer.
Okay. No, that is no, I mean when you read books, sure you think. So we are not saying that we want to stop thinking completely all the time. We just want to remove thinking when there's not a beneficial, when it's not a time for thinking. Actually, thinking is useful. We don't say we want to stop thinking. We just want to have a mastery over thinking. We want to think when we need to think, when we find it is beneficial to think. When it is not beneficial, for example, during meditation retreat, it's not. This is a period we want to focus to generate another type of wisdom. The ability to discover higher wisdom. So, we know that thinking wisdom is one type of wisdom, Cintamaya Panya. Reading is Suttamaya Panya, knowledge kind of wisdom. Thinking type of wisdom, reflecting wisdom. But this wisdom is not really helpful for our liberation. Not enough. So we know that only with higher wisdom, we call Bhavanamaya Panya, insight kind of wisdom. That is liberating. So when we have this kind of knowledge comes first. If you think this is the best, then you cannot remove. But you know this is not the best, you have something higher, and you long for the higher wisdom. Then you find the motivation to let go of the lower, to go towards the higher. Just like we catch a ladder, you grab the higher. If you want to go higher, you have to let go of the lower one. So that motivation to let go of the lower grip is there. because of the understanding that this is higher. So you move on. So you need first, that's why the understanding must come first. That there are higher beneficial things. Higher wisdom. So once you know that, then you can differentiate your time. When there's a time to read books, you reflect. Yes, okay. Read books, sure, you have thinking. But when it's a time to meditate, try not to read. If you read also, read only things related to your practice. Then this is okay. Like now you have to climb the hill. You climb the hill. You don't have to waste your time reading about a map about North America, about Africa. What is the benefit? It doesn't serve your purpose to climb to the summit here. You just need to read the map about this summit. Right now, so you focus on that. If you really need to read, you read about meditation. Directly teach you how to apply, how to meditate, how to do this experiment. Okay? So you narrow down your scope of thinking to think minimum. Not that we don't want to think at all. We think what is necessary for right now, my task at hand. So you focus on that. And then with that, you incline your mind towards stopping the thinking during meditation. Right now, when we give you talk, we are actually encouraging you to think, right or not? We make you think by giving Dhamma talk. But this is the necessary thinking so that you can make right effort only. Okay, necessary thinking. But when you meditate, you relinquish this thinking. Suspend it. Not during this hour. Okay? That's enough. So people who can think when they need to think and don't think when you don't need to think, their thinking power is superior. In fact, it's more swift, more sharp. So we want to think when we can think, we don't think when we don't think. Okay, once you have decided upon this path, now right now is the time I don't want to think. It is not beneficial for my task at hand. Then, we are not telling you not to think for the rest of life. No, not like that. Only suspend it right now when you're doing this special training. So try to disincline from that and incline towards non-thinking. Okay, then mindfulness comes in. If you're mindful, the moment you wonder, mind wanders, you know. So usually I tell people, don't wonder more than 1 second. And if you're really not sharp enough, maximum 3 seconds. The thinking should stop. Then of course it comes again, because it's habitual. You're mindful again, mindful again, mindful again. And slowly these habits of thinking get broken into pieces, fragmented. What is fragmented has no grip on you. What is continuous is become very powerful, wholesome or unwholesome. So we try to make all those things that we don't want, cut them into pieces by mindfulness and generate a continuous flow of mindfulness. Because you want those mindfulness to be stronger, so you let it flow continuously. You want to weaken your thinking, you let it go fragmented. Don't let it last more than 3 seconds. Try to keep it to 1 second. The moment you think, you're mindful, let go. Think, let go. So these new habits will replace the old habits. Okay? Because of mindfulness. So after some time, you notice that anyone who can keep their wandering thoughts to below 3 seconds, one day you will come to attain jhana. You come to experience concentration. Not difficult. Don't worry about habits. You just don't indulge in the habit. Keep it below 3 seconds. If possible, keep it below 1 second. This is training. There's no other way. I don't find better way. So the first way is to recognize that this is no good. Overcoming it is good. Then it can be overcome. These habits I can develop another habits to replace this habit. So understanding must come first. Second, training comes second. You have the right understanding, then you must have the right training, mindfulness.
Like that. Okay? Then sure. Last time I encouraged Venerable Dhammagawai Sakashin Fajunza. He said, I have so much thinking. Oh, I cannot practice meditation. Meditation not for me. My thinking is so much. I think all the time, even opening the door, closing the door, I want to think. Think about how to close it nicely, perfectly. He perfect every step of his way. So thinking happen all the time. Then I told him, possible, we can do. Try. And overcome it, yeah, eventually can. That's another way I call it 笨人的方法, 傻方法. How to do? Try to sit still, upright, relax. Don't move for 1 hour. Try to do that. If you cannot do it because of the weakness of your back, because of old age or whatever, lean on a straight chair. This straight chair, I think will come tomorrow or a few days. I order quite a lot of chairs. 10 more than that, especially for elderly people. Straight back. You can fold and you can sit specially. I hope you try on it. We should put here 1 or 2 chairs here. So, if you find your back move after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you cannot keep it straight, then you cannot invoke this power. So, lean on the wall, upright, like that. Don't move. Try not to move your body in a relaxed way for 1 hour. I tell you, I'm not sure about very old people, but I think most people report. I have not heard such a report from old people yet, because maybe elderly people, I don't know the energy, yang qi, enough or not enough. But for most people, middle age, whatever, if they can keep their body still for 1 hour without moving in a relaxed manner, you fall into a kind of energy enveloping your body. Very strange. It almost happened. Almost sure it will happen. So once you fall into this 被包围住, the kind of energy envelop your body, suddenly you experience altered consciousness. Your mind switch into another level. At least half of your wandering thoughts gone. So some people who have a lot of difficulty overcoming wandering thoughts, I say, 你可以不可以用笨方法? You this simple. Anyone can do. Anyone can do. As long as you can keep your body still, relaxed, without moving, not even a single or a finger action. Don't move. And don't press it, don't push it, don't force it, relax. For 1 hour, sure you experience that. If you can overcome your wandering thoughts by 50%, another 50% become very quickly. Because you get the motivation and you have altered consciousness, and then afterward, another 25% gone, then another 10% gone, then the last very fast. So this is how we overcome wandering thoughts, if we want to overcome it. Not that we want to have zero thinking forever, not possible. In fact, by giving you Dhamma talk, I'm encouraging you to reflect on Dhamma, right? That's thinking. But this thinking will help you to overcome thinking. Because this is the thinking related to how to overcome thinking. So we are, one time there's one UKM student, now he's a monk already, my senior actually. Those days we brought them to meditate. Then he asked my teacher one question. He said, Bande, you want us not to think. If we don't think, then we lose our intelligence. He's thinking that we are destroying our intelligence if you don't tell us not to think. Then my teacher answered him, the really intelligent people knows how to stop their thinking when at wish. If you want to think, you can think. You don't want to think, you can stop. No. Really. That was also stuck into my mind for a long time. Really. If we know why we think, we know how to overcome it. And then you want to hear the advice Xiaoji gave to me, Pao Xiaoji? I remember 2 weeks before I I got a breakthrough in meditation. I reported to Xiaoji, Xiaoji, I can only focus for 8 minutes. 8 minutes only. Afterward, thinking comes to me. Then that day, that very wonderful day, Sayadaw told me about the fable, the fable, the Jataka fable, saying that the rabbit sleeping under the tree, then there's one branch fell down from the tree, poof. Then the rabbit ran away, saying that, oh, the heaven is falling down, and all the animals follow suit. Until even the elephant run, because saying that the heaven is falling down. Then the lion, the king of the forest, roar and say, stop! Why all of you are running? Because the heaven is falling down. Who says so? The elephant point to another fox or something like that. The next animal point to another animal and point to another animal. Eventually, the lion traced to the last rabbit, the rabbit. Then, who told you the heaven falling down? No, when I was sleeping, I heard something pop. Then I thought the heaven must be falling down. I run. So the lion, intelligent lion, investigate. Come, bring me where. Tell me, go to the tree. Oh, there's a branch falling down. You see, everyone follow. So, Sayadaw told me, you should trace your wandering thoughts. Go to the source. What made you wander? Then I went back, I reflect. I'm thinking, sometimes because of greed, because I have a desire for philosophical reflection, contemplation. That took me a long time to overcome. I just like to reflect on philosophical things, Some worldly things as well, but not too much. The big chunk of my thoughts was from the philosophical thinking. And then I reflect, I have greed. I have this kind of wanting for kind of satisfaction derived from thinking, from reflection. I love this kind of reflective knowledge, Cintamaya Panya. I have a lot of satisfaction when I got a breakthrough in I Ching or Tao Te Ching or whatever, I understood something. So then I say, well, why do I have this? Because I have an inner satisfaction. I want that satisfaction. That's the I. So next time after that, whatever thinking that appear in my mind, I just see to the root. It come from the same source. That's the I. So after that, I smile. When I see wandering thought, I don't pressure myself. I don't suppress it. I just look at it as just as a phenomenon. I smile. In fact, the more you suppress your thinking, the more it pop up. So I just smile. Take it easy. Yeah, I just see you. I notice that the moment I say, I see you, it stops. I see you, it stops. Then these wandering thoughts become fragmented, broken into pieces. And then mindfulness gets continuous. Then within a short while, because of this kind of understanding, the meditation pick up very quickly. Then another way you can overcome thinking, another way, happiness. If you feel the bliss of calmness and quietness, let me tell you, naturally you don't want to think. Give yourself a chance to experience the kind of peace and happiness just by being yourself, doing nothing. If you can experience some kind of happiness, calmness, then slowly you realize that the happiness without thinking is superior to the happiness that comes with thinking. Once you have a taste of it, you want to get more. Then you experience more and more and more. Then naturally you get inclined towards non-thinking anymore. Okay? But don't fear that if I don't think, I end up stupid. You have that fear, then cannot, no way to get out. You want to hold on to thinking. Okay? There's few ways. Try to apply that. Okay? Idang me punyang asawa kaya wahang hotu. Idang me punyang nibbana sapacayo hotu. Mama punya bagang sabba sattanang bhajemi. Te sabe me samang punya bagang labantu. Sadhu, sadhu.